So yesterday we finished with non-communicable diseases. So
Communicable.
start with communicable diseases. What is meaning of communicable diseases?
Which can be spreaded through one person to another person through community.
Okay.
कोण असतो ते?
Good point.
In any possible way.
I'm just like COVID-19.
Yes.
Social distancing for which is very important. बघितलं का परत?
Communicable.
War is one.
Right?
Very good, Rizwan.
Respiratory infections, intestinal infections, arthropod-borne infection, zoonosis, and surface infection. These are 5 communicable diseases. So today we'll start with surface infections. So what is meaning of surface infection?
Direct contact नहीं होना रे.
Direct contact with
Good.
contaminated surface beverages, blood or other body fluids. So surface infection, there are 6 infections we will going to see. First is trachoma, second tetanus, leprosy, STDs, and AIDS. So today we start with trachoma.
अरे बापरे.
What is
व्यायाम
meaning?
खूप छान आहे डोळे.
What is trachoma?
Non-cancerous growth.
No.
Bacterial
So it is a chronic infection of conjunctiva and cornea. It is caused due to chlamydia trachomatis. So it is called as trachoma. Because
Chlamydia
the
trachomatis.
name is chlamydia trachomatis. It may undergo spontaneous resolution or may progress to conjunctival scarring. First stage is trichiasis and entropion. What is meaning of entropion?
Entrepreneur.
Entropion,
नाही माहिती मॅम.
it means inward rolling of conjunctiva.
eyelid.
Eyelid.
इनवर्ड की आउटवर्ड?
Inward.
इनवर्ड मतलब अच्छा काय
अंदर की
म्हणतात ना कॉनकेव.
So this
चालेल.
leads to corneal ulceration and ultimately to scarring and visual loss. It is classified as blinding or non-blinding. And what is its problem statement? So, trachoma is a major preventable cause of blindness in developing countries. According to recent estimates, about 2.2 million people currently suffer from visual impairment due to trachoma. And out of this, 1.2 million are irreversibly blind. And about 324.85 million are at risk of infection. So, the incidence and prevalence of trachoma has shown significant decrease in many countries of CA. Why? Because due to improved sanitation, water and housing, and implementation of control measures. So, it is decreasing. And in India, it estimates to be responsible for 0.2% of visual impairment and blindness in India. Then epidemiological determinants. So what is agent factor? Agent factor is bacteria, Chlamydia trachomatis. It is of different types. The classical endemic trachoma, it is caused due to immune type A, B and C. Sexually transmitted trachoma, it is immune type D, E, F, G, H, I, J or K. There are some other pathogenic organisms also. Morax axenefeld, Diplobacillus, Koch-Weeks bacillus, and gonococcus. So Chlamydia trachomatis, it is the main bacteria.
Main.
And reservoir of this infection is children with active disease.
गेले साहेब.
So, agent factor is Chlamydia trachomatis. Reservoir of these infections are children with active diseases and chronically affected children and adults. आवाज येतोय माझा क्लिअर?
हा.
So, ma'am.
Source of infection is ocular discharge of
Ocular
infected person and fomites. What is meaning of fomites?
Fomites.
Fomites.
डे टू डे यूज करना
कुछ एयरबॉर्न मैम पार्टिकल होतो.
नहीं. Fomites means materials or object which can cause infection. मतलब कोई भी चीज, क्लोथ्स हो या फिर एनी यूटेंसिल्स हो जिसपे डिस्चार्जेस वगैरह लगे हैं, टॉवेल्स वगैरह रह सकते हैं, हैंकरचिप रह सकते हैं, उससे अगर इंफेक्शन स्प्रेड हो रहा है तो वो फोमाइट बॉर्न इंफेक्शन होता है. So, communicability, it has very low infectivity. It is only infective when lesion is active. Then host factor. Host factor. But in endemic areas, children show signs at age of only few months. Where there is an endemic of trachoma, few months children are also get affected. Sex incidence, prevalence equal in younger age group, but in older age group, females are affected more. Predisposing factors are direct sunlight, dust, smoke, and irritants like kajal and surma. So environmental factors, mainly seasonal epidemics are associated with vastly increased number of eye-seeking. Seasonal epidemics are associated with increased number of eye-seeking flies. Eye-seeking flies.
मैम छोटे छोटे कीड़े आते हैं ना, वहाँ क्या क्या जाते हैं?
वो flies. आपल्या घरात जे माशा असतात ना, हाऊस फ्लाईज.
सिनेथ्रोपिक. काय नाव आहे मॅम तिचं?
मस्किड फ्लाईज.
मस्किड फ्लाइज. Synanthropic mosquito flies.
The incidence of mosquito trachoma is found generally high in India during April and May, and again in July and September, because eye-seeking flies are more in these months, April and May, and July and September. Higher the temperature and rainfall favors the increase in fly population. Then quality of life. Trachoma is associated with poor quality of life. The disease thrives in condition of poverty, crowding, ignorance, poor personal hygiene, squalor, illiteracy, and poor housing. Means poor hygiene is main factor. Custom of attaching kajal surma to the eyes is positive risk factor. Then how it is transmitted, mode of transmission. So in endemic communities, eye-to-eye transmission, that is direct or indirect contact with ocular discharges of infected person or fomites. It is fingers, towels, kajal or surma. Then mechanical transmission by eye-seeking flies. At the direct contact से हो सकता है या फिर eye-seeking flies के द्वारा हो सकता है. Flies are female muscus sorbens or flies. And in areas with sporadic cases, venereal transmission is common. It is also familial disease. Familial means that family history. Familial means अगर घर के किसी एक व्यक्ति को हो रहा है, सबको ट्रांसमिट हो सकता है. So family. So this is the must-have life. Then life cycle of trachoma. First, it infects the eyes, and flies carrying the microorganism land on children's eyes to feed on discharge. Flies पहले आँखों पे बैठते हैं. Then family contact. Women who take care of children also get infected. And these flies spreads out. Flies that breed in human faces spread the disease to others. मतलब फ्लाइज के द्वारा बाकी लोगों को भी हो सकता है. Also, dirty hands or face spread the disease. Infection. काय
डिस्कनेक्ट कनेक्ट झालं स्क्रीन नाही दिसत.
तुझा पर्सनल प्रॉब्लेम पर्सनल ठेव ना, कशाला आम्हाला सांगतो? तुझा नाही दिसते,
okay.
आम्हाला दिसते ना.
So, infections inflame and thicken the upper eyelids. Then पहले infection होने के बाद scarring होता है. Scarring eyelids inwards. Then the lashes clash the cornea and leads to blindness. Inward हो जाते हैं eyelids. इसके वजह से eyelashes जो रहते हैं वो कॉर्निया को स्क्रैच करते हैं और उसकी वजह से ब्लाइंडनेस होता है. इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड इज 3 types of trachoma: acute trachoma, recurrent trachoma, and chronic trachoma. Acute trachoma, it frequently found in children who are dirty, dusty, and unhealthy. It usually affects one eye and gradually spreads to both the eyes. A recurring trachoma, if poor hygiene is persist, the person gets affected again and again. Then chronic trachoma. It causes inward turning of the eyelids such that the eyelashes rub against the cornea, which leads to blindness, mainly between the age of 30 to 40 years. Left untreated. अगर इसको treat नहीं किया तो blindness हो सकता है. If it does not lead to blindness, it leads to scarring of the cornea of the eyes. Then general symptoms are painful eyes, swollen eyelids, touching of eyelashes, itching of the eyes, also
आवाज कैसा आ रहा है?
हेडफोन लगाया मैम, कौन है ते?
आवाज नाही.
So general symptoms are painful eyes, swollen eyelids, slimy discharge from the eyes, inward protraction of eyelashes, itching of the eyes and ear, nose and throat infection. So stages of trachoma. So in first picture it is a normal conjunctiva. In second picture, it is trachomatous inflammation follicular, means follicles are seen. The presence of 5 or more follicles. Follicles are round swelling that are paler than surrounding conjunctiva in the upper tarsal conjunctiva. In third picture, it is inflammation which is intense. So here, obvious inflammatory thickening of tarsal conjunctiva that obscures more than half of the deep tarsal vessels. The next stage is trachomatous scarring. The presence of scarring in the tarsal conjunctiva. means it heals on its own by forming scars. So scars are easily visible as a white lines, bands or sheets in a tarsal conjunctiva. Then next stage is trachomatic tracheasis. If it is not healed, it leads to tracheasis. At least one eyelash rub on the eyeball. These eyelashes rubs on the eyeball. It leads to corneal opacity. So easily visible corneal opacity over the pupils. So how to control it? Prevention. First is assessment of problem. Second is chemotherapy. It may be mass treatment or selective treatment. Third is surgical correction. Fourth is surveillance. Fifth is health education. Last one is evaluation. So in assessment, first we have to assess the problem. The primary objective of the program for trachoma control is prevention of blindness. Focus on communities with high prevalence of blinding trachoma. It is indicated by corneal blindness, trachomatous tracheasis, anentropy on moderate and severe trachomatous inflammation. Means in community, first we have to assess how much problem is there, and its main objective is prevention of blindness. So such communities have blindness rates of more than 0.5%. So where there is a blindness rate is more than 0.5%, there is a need for this prevention program. Then chemotherapy, its main objective is reduce severity, lower the incidence, and ultimately lower the prevalence. Here, antibiotic of choice is 1% ophthalmic ointment or oily suspension of tetracyclines. Tetracyclines drops are used. Also, erythromycin or rifampicin also used. Treatment can be mass or selective. Means whole area is given treatment or some selective persons are given. In mass treatment, it is also called as blanket treatment. Why blanket? Because it covers more area, like a blanket. So prevalence of moderate or severe trachoma, where there is a more than 5% prevalence. In children under 10 years, there is a mass treatment given. Means अगर prevalence more than 5% है उस एरिया में, तो हमको मास ट्रीटमेंट देना है. तो क्या देना है वहाँ पे? एप्लीकेशन ऑफ 1% टेट्रासाइक्लिन ऑइंटमेंट टू all children. How? Twice daily for 5 days each month for consecutive 6 months, or once a daily for 10 days each month for 6 consecutive months. अगर टेट्रासाइक्लिन अवेलेबल नहीं है तो then we can use erythromycin as an alternative antibiotic. Then selective treatment is community with low or medium prevalence. We can give selective treatment. Means we will find cases. जिसको है ट्रैकोमा उसको ही देना है मेडिसिन. So treatment is applicable to those with active problem. Same line of treatment like twice daily for 5 days each month for 6 consecutive months, or once daily 10 days each month for 6 consecutive months. Then surgical correction. Individual with lead deformities, like अगर ट्रैकियासिस पूरा फॉर्म हो गया या फिर एंट्रोपियन फॉर्म हो गया तो सर्जिकल करेक्शन करना है. अगर सर्जरी किया तो वी कैन प्रिवेंट ब्लाइंडनेस. Then surveillance. Once control of blinding trachoma has been achieved, provision must be made to maintain surveillance. Means supervision रखना है. अगर blinding ट्रैकोमा कंट्रोल हमने अचीव कर लिया है तो उसके बाद वो मेंटेन हो रहा है क्या, उसके लिए हमको उस पर सुपरविजन सर्वेलेंस रखना है, which is necessary for several years after active inflammatory trachoma has been controlled. Since trachoma is a familial disease, the whole family group should be under surveillance. Like COVID-19, अगर एक केस मिल रहा है तो उसके कांटेक्ट में आए सब पर्सन्स को हम लोग क्वारंटाइन कर रहे हैं, तो ये भी टाइप है. Next, health education. So health education is very important. अगर area which has endemic of trachoma, the person should be educated for his by taking his own antibiotics. वो खुद से लेना चाहिए, उतना उसको एजुकेट करना है. उस एरिया में अगर endemic है तो
डोजेस के भी नाम बताइए.
the mothers of young children should be the target of health education. Measures of personal and community hygiene should also be incorporated in programs of health education. This would require permanent changes in the behavior patterns and environmental factors. So the final solution would be improvement of living conditions and quality of life. So hygiene should be maintained. Evaluation. ये प्रोग्राम हमने अप्लाई किया है, लेकिन ये वर्क कर रहा है, इवेल्युएट करना है. ट्रॉमा कंट्रोल प्रोग्राम must be evaluated at frequent intervals. The effect of intervention can be judged by changes in the age-specific rates of active trachoma and in the prevention of trachiasis and entropion. So WHO given elimination strategy, that is SAFE, SAFE. It is adopted in 1996. It is a combination of intervention implemented as an integrated approach. So SAFE as for surgery for trachomatous trachiasis, antibiotics to cure ocular chlamydia trachomatis infections, F for facial cleanliness to reduce transmission of ocular chlamydia trachomatis, and environmental improvement, particularly improved access to water and sanitation. So it is evaluation strategies. पूछते हैं ये. Also, WHO launched the program GATE 2020. In 1997, WHO launched the WHO Alliance for the global elimination of trachoma by the year 2020. So, GATE 2020. So, partnership which supports country implementation of the SAFE strategy and the strengthening of national capacity through epidemiological assessment, monitoring, surveillance, project evaluation, and resource mobilization. And in India, there is a program called National Trachoma Control Program, which is launched in 1963. And incorporated with National Program for Control of Blindness in 1976. In India, at present, there is not a single case of trachoma is present. So, trachoma is no longer public health problem in India. We have made the goal of trachoma elimination as specified by WHO under its GATE 2020 program. So, there is a need for constant surveillance by the states to report any fresh case of trachoma and trachoma sequelae and to treat them promptly to finally be completely free of trachoma. So, the end in sight, not the end of sight. Good afternoon. आवाज येतोय माझा?
हो मॅम.
काय दिसतंय इमेज मध्ये?
Convulsion
Stitching poisoning, ma'am.
Ophiostotonic condition.
Okay, opisthosonus position. Okay. This- In which it is seen?
Strychnine poisoning, ma'am.
Strychnine poisoning. What more?
Oh, ma'am.
स्वामी का पॉइजनिंग
Oh, Jana.
टिटॅनस मध्ये पण सेम पोझिशन असते. ओपिस्थोस्टोनस convergence. So today we'll see about tetanus. So an acute disease of Clostridium tetani is clinically characterized by muscular rigidity, which persists with illness, punctuated by painful paroxysmal spasm of voluntary muscles. So it includes pressure disorders leading to spasm of
मॅम खूप आवाज येतो.
बैक पुशिंग
अविनाश भाई जरा.
So, the symptoms includes muscular rigidity, which persists throughout illness, and mainly spasm of voluntary muscles, especially masseters, which leads to trismus or lockjaw. Then facial muscles leads to rhesus sardonicus, and the spasm of muscles of back and neck, which leads to opisthostonous position.
अरे ओ, अविनाश भाई.
Lower limbs and abdomen. Mortality tends to be higher, varying from 40% to 80%.
आवाज तो अपने को आएगा ना. चालू करना भाई.
चालू है
अरे कुछ नहीं कर रहा है.
So, problem statement. In world, tetanus is now comparatively rare disease in developed countries. And in that also neonatal tetanus is called as killer disease and second only to measles among 6 target diseases of EPI, that is expanded program on immunization. Even with treatment, the case fatality rate can be as high as 80 to 90%. Means it is rare, even though if any one patient suffer from tetanus, their fatality rate is 80 to 90%. During 2012, a total of 10,392 cases of tetanus, and in that also 4,650 cases of neonatal tetanus were reported to WHO worldwide. In India, tetanus is an important endemic infection. Why? Because of behaviors of hand washing, delivery practices, traditional birth customs, interest in immunization is very low. These are all important factors which leads to disease incidence. In 2013, about 528 cases of neonatal cases were reported in India compared to 11,000 in 1989. See, in 1989, 11,000 cases of tetanus were found. But after that, we started with immunization. So see the number which is lowered to 528 from 11,000. Then epidemiological determinants. Agent factor. In agent, the agent is Clostridium tetani, which is gram-positive, anaerobic, and spore-bearing organism. The spores are terminal and give the organism as a drumstick appearance. The spores are highly resistant to number of injurious agents like boiling, phenol, cresol, and autoclaving for 15 minutes at 120 degrees centigrade. So it is very highly resistant. They germinate under anaerobic conditions and produce potent exotoxin. The exotoxin is named by titanospasmin because it causes spasms. So it is called as titanospasmin. The spores are base destroyed by steam. The spores are base destroyed by steam under pressure at 120 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes or by gamma irradiation. So it is destroyed by steam of 120 degree for 20 minutes or by gamma irradiation. Reservoir of infection. The natural habitat of organism is soil and dust. The bacilli found in intestine of many herbivorous animals. Example, cattle, horses, goats, and sheep, and are excreted in their feces. The spores survive for years in nature. The bacilli may be found frequently in the intestine of man without causing ill effects. So main habitat is soil and dust. Exotoxin, which is titanospasmin. So tetanus bacilli produce soluble exotoxin. The lethal dose means harmful dose for 70 kg man is about 0.1 mg. It is very less, 0.1 mg. The toxin act on 4 areas of nervous system, which are those: the motor end plates in skeletal system, spinal cord, brain, and sympathetic system. Its principal action is to block the inhibition of spinal reflexes. Its period of communicability, it is none. Why? Because it not transmitted from person to person. Here host factors, mainly tetanus is a disease of active age, that is from year 5 to 40 years. Why? This period predisposes to all kinds of trauma and therefore risk of acquiring the disease is very high. Tetanus occurring in newborn is known as neonatal tetanus. Infants typically contract the disease at birth when delivered in non-aseptic conditions, especially when umbilical cord is cut with unclean instruments or the umbilical stump is dressed with ashes, soil, or cow dung. Sex incidence. Although a higher incidence is found in male, females are more exposed to the risk of tetanus during delivery or abortion, leading to puerperal tetanus. Even though there is an incidence in males are more. Males appear to be more sensitive to tetanus toxins than females. It is found in research. Research मध्ये समजलंय की males are more sensitive. So there is an incidence high in males. Occupation. Agricultural workers are at special risk because of their contact with soil. Then rural-urban differences. The incidence of tetanus is much lower in urban than in rural areas. Immunity. No age is immune unless protected by previous immunization. So the immunity resulting from 2 injections of tetanus toxoid is highly effective and it lasts for several years. A general rule, patients who have recovered from tetanus must be actively immunized because the amounts of toxin responsible for the disease in man do not stimulate protective immunity. Means it's not like chickenpox or measles that once you have suffered from disease, you will not get it again. So it does not stimulate protective immunity. So immunity lasting for few weeks can be transferred to the baby if mother is immunized during pregnancy. अगर मदर को इम्यूनाइज किया प्रेगनेंसी के दौरान तो चिल्ड्रंस में इम्यूनिटी दिख सकता है, लेकिन वो भी सिर्फ फ्यू वीक्स के लिए. Next is environmental and social factors. Its occurrence depends upon man's physical and ecological surroundings like soil, agriculture, and animal husbandry, and not on the presence or absence of infection in the population, because it do not transfer from person to person. The environmental factors are compounded by social factors such as unhygienic customs and habits. Example, application of dust or animal dung to the wounds. So malpractices. Then unhygienic delivery practices. Example, using unsterilized instruments for cutting the umbilical cord. So in the developed countries, urbanization, industrialization, and mechanization of agriculture have interfered with normal process of distribution of Clostridium tetani and have reduced the morbidity rate. Because of urbanization, industrialization, the rate of Clostridium tetani is decreased. Then how it is transmitted? It is not transmitted person to person. Infection is acquired by contamination of wounds with tetanus spores. The range of injuries and accidents which may lead to tetanus comprise trivial pinprick, skin abrasions, puncture wounds, burns, human bites, animal bites and stings, unsterile surgery, intrauterine death, bowel surgeries, dental extractions, injections, unsterile division of umbilical cord, compound fractures, chronic skin ulcers, eye infections, and gangrenous limbs. Means these are a range of injuries which can cause tetanus, but only if the wound is contaminated with tetanus spores. Incubation period of tetanus. The incubation period is usually 6 to 10 days, but it may be as short as 1 day or as long as several months. Long incubation is probably explained by the spores lying dormant in the wound. Dormant means it is not in active phase. Then what are types of tetanus? First is traumatic tetanus. So trauma is the major and important cause of tetanus. Sometimes tetanus may result from trivial or even unnoticed wounds. Then puerperal tetanus. Tetanus follows abortion more frequently than normal labor. A post-abortal uterus is favorable site for the germination of tetanus spores. Then otogenic tetanus. Ear may be a rare portal of entry, but foreign bodies such as infected pencils, matches, and beads may introduce the infection. Otogenic tetanus is a pediatric problem, but cases may occur in adults also. Then idiopathic tetanus. In these cases, there is no definite history of sustaining an injury. Means we don't know what is the cause of tetanus. Some consider it to be the result of microscopic trauma, means which we cannot see. Others hold the view that it is due to absorption of tetanus toxin from intestinal tract. A third view is that tetanus spores may be inhaled and may start the infection, but we don't know cause. These are only assumptions. Then next type is tetanus neonatal. In many countries, neonatal tetanus kills about 85% of children. The common cause in infection of umbilical stump after birth, the first symptom being seen about the 7th day. Therefore, tetanus is known as 8th day disease in Punjab. Complications of tetanus. It is fracture due to severe muscular spasm. Prolonged immobility by high doses sedatives leads to permanent disabilities. Brain damage in infants. Respiratory failure is the most common cause of death. Then how to prevent tetanus? 4 ways. First is active immunization. Second, passive immunization. Third is combined active and passive immunization. And fourth is antibiotics. So first we'll see about active immunization. So tetanus is best prevented by active immunization with tetanus toxoids. What is meaning of active immunization? What is active immunity?
एक्टिव इम्यूनाइजेशन में मैम लाइव वायरस कोई मतलब बैक्टीरिया कोई अटेन्यूएटेड करके देते हैं, इससे वैक्सीन बनाते हैं।
मतलब हम लोग बैक्टीरिया इंसर्ट करते हैं, उसके वजह से जो इम्यूनिटी प्रोड्यूस होता है, एंटीबॉडी होते हैं, तो उसे हम लोग इम्यूनिटी बोलते हैं। व्हाट इज पैसिव इम्यूनिटी? पैसिव इम्यूनिटी
ठीक है, पास तो
पैसिव इम्यूनिटी
पानी पीने और बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशन कर रहा है, मतलब फोर्सफुली हो रहा है।
व्हाट इज मीनिंग पैसिव इम्यूनिटी?
antibodies are given.
Attenuated bacteria which will produce antibodies. And meaning passive immunity means we produce ready-made antibodies.
आवाज कट रही है मैम।
ये फर्स्ट टाइम हुआ है कि पहले भी हुआ था?
Immunity means we insert the and in passive immunity we insert outside of the human body. So active immunization. Tetanus is best prevented by active immunization with tetanus toxoid. Stimulates the production of protective antitoxins. Two preparations are available for active immunization. First is combined vaccine, that is DPT. Full form of DPT. Full form of DPT.
तो रहेगा तो
Full form of DPT.
डिप्थेरिया मैम।
डिप्थेरिया परट्यूसिस टेटनस
ना वो तो इसका होगा
Tetanus.
Tetanus. Diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus. Silent vaccine.
एक बार इसको घर पे वो लोग आना तो एक बार पूछ के बता देते, उसके बाद मेरे पापा एक आज के दिन ही होगा। ए अक्कू
किसको बता रहे?
Second is tetanus vaccine, adsorb type. It may be PTAP or ATP. PTAP is purified toxide adsorbed on aluminum phosphate, and APT is alum precipitate toxides. So first we'll see combined vaccine. Tetanus vaccine is offered routinely to infants. Expanded immunization programs in combination with diphtheria vaccine and killed pertussis vaccine as a DPT vaccine. According to National Immunization Schedule, the primary course of immunization consists of 3 doses of DPT at intervals of 4 to 8 weeks, starting at 6 weeks of age. So first dose is at 6 weeks of age, followed by booster at 18 months of age, second booster at 5 to 6 years of age, and third booster, only TT, not DPT, only TT after 10 years of age. So, first 3 combined doses and last booster is only TT. Then monovalent vaccines, purified tetanus toxoids has largely supplanted plain toxins because it stimulates higher and longer lasting immunity than plain toxoids. A primary course of immunization consists of 2 doses of tetanus toxoids, each dose of 0.5 ml injected into the arm, given at intervals of 1 to 2 months. The longer the intervals between 2 doses, the better is the immune response. And after that, first booster dose should be given a year after the initial 2 doses. Then purified tetanus toxoid should be stored between 4 and 10 degrees Celsius. So primary immunization course consists of 2 doses of tetanus toxoids, which are given at the interval of 1 to 2 months. The dose is 0.5 ml injected into the arm, and booster dose given after a year. Then passive immunization. In passive immunization, we introduce ready-made antibodies. So it causes temporary protection against tetanus. It is provided by injection of human tetanus hyperimmunoglobulin or anti-tetanus serum. So human tetanus hyperimmunoglobulin is the best prophylactic. The doses for all ages is 250 IU. It does not cause serum reaction. It gives longer passive protection up to 30 days or more compared with 7 to 10 days for Hall's ATS. Human tetanus hyperimmunoglobulin, it is prepared in the humans, and anti-tetanus serum is prepared in horse. ATS, it is also called as equine. If human antitoxin is not available, equine antitoxin is used. The standard dose is 1500 IU. It is injected subcutaneously after sensitivity testing. ATS gives passive protection for about 7 to 10 days. Equine antitoxin. It is prepared in horse. So it is called as equine is the horseae family. Equine antitoxins. Equine म्हणतात त्याला. आणि ते हॉर्स मध्ये प्रिपेअर केलं जातं म्हणून त्याला इक्वाइन अँटीटॉक्सिन. पहिल्यांदा त्यांच्यामध्ये टिटॅनसचे स्पोर्स सोडले जातात आणि त्याच्यामध्ये हॉर्सच्या बॉडीमध्ये जे अँटीबॉडीज तयार होतात त्या कलेक्ट केल्या जातात, त्या हार्वेस्ट केल्या जातात आणि त्या एमर्जन्सी म्हणून यूज केल्या जातात. म्हणजे त्या रेडीमेड अँटीबॉडीज असतात. So its dose is 1500 IU. It is injected subcutaneously, but after sensitivity testing. It gives passive protection for about 7 to 10 days. As it is a foreign protein, it is rapidly excreted from the body and there may be very little antibody at the end of 2 weeks. So it gives only protection for 7 to 10 days. Because of this drawback, ATS may not cover the tetanus incubation period in all cases, because in some cases it may be one day, or in some cases it may be several months. So incubation period is not covered by ATS in some cases. So horse ATS has other disadvantages also, like it causes sensitivity reaction as it is foreign protein. A person receiving ATS for the first time may tolerate it, but for the subsequent injections, it may cause rash or anaphylactic shock. Also, another drawback is ATS stimulates the formation of antibodies. It is already antibody, and against that antibody, our body can produce other antibodies. Hence, a person who has once received ATS tends to rapidly eliminate subsequent doses. As such, the value of second and subsequent doses of ATS become questionable. The next method is active and passive immunization. Simultaneous active and passive immunization is widely carried out in non-immune persons. The patient given 1500 units of ATS or 250 units of human IG in one arm and 0.5 ml of adsorbed tetanus toxide into the other arm or gluteal region. This should be followed by 6 weeks later by another dose of 0.5 ml of tetanus toxoids, and third dose 1 year later. So first dose given with 1500 units of ATS or 250 units of human IG in one arm and 0.5 ml of absorbed tetanus toxide into another arm, and second dose is followed 6 weeks after, and after that third dose after 1 year. The purpose of antitoxin is for immediate temporary protection, and purpose of toxide is for long lasting protection. Antibiotics, as in most cases there is no role of antibiotic, but we can give it when and how. A single intramuscular injection of 1.2 mega units of long-acting penicillin will provide a sustained concentration of drug for 3 to 4 weeks, which is sufficient to kill vegetative forms of tetanus bacilli, not spores. Only vegetative forms, means before spore formation. So vegetative form is not infective, spore form is infective. So antibiotics can only kill the vegetative forms. So it has no effect on tetanus spores. When patients are sensitive to penicillin, a 7 days course of erythromycin istolate 500 mg 6 hourly by mouth will kill vegetative forms of Clostridium titanis, but not spores. So antibiotics only used for vegetative forms of tetanus bacilli. So it should be given as soon as possible after an injury, before the lethal dose of toxin is produced in the wound, which may be as soon as 6 hours after injury. And prevention of neonatal tetanus. Neonatal tetanus is well controlled in some industrialized countries through clean delivery practices, and most programs in developing countries have concentrated on training of traditional birth attendants, providing home delivery kits, educating pregnant women about the 3 cleans, that is clean hands, clean delivery surface, and clean cord care. The primary course of immunization consists of 2 doses of tetanus toxoids. Each dose is 0.5 ml injected into the arm, given at interval of 1 to 2 months. The longer the interval between 2 doses, better is the immune response. And after that, first booster dose, that is third in order. First are these 2, and third dose should be given a year after initial 2 doses. The purified tetanus toxin should be stored between 4 and 10 degrees Celsius. Passive immunization. Temporary protection against tetanus can be provided by an injection of human tetanus hyperimmunoglobulin or anti-tetanus serum, which we insert antibodies. Human tetanus hyperimmunoglobulin, it is the best prophylactic. The dose for all ages is 250 IU. It does not cause serum reaction. Its longer passive protection is up to 30 days or more, compared with 7 to 10 days for horse ATS. ATS, that is anti-tetanus serum. It is prepared from equine family of horse. If human antitoxin is not available, equine antitoxin should be used. Its dose is 1500 IU. It is injected subcutaneous after sensitivity testing. ATS gives passive protection for about 7 to 10 days. As it is a foreign protein, it is rapidly excreted from the body. There may be a very little antibody at the end of 2 weeks. Because of this drawback, ATS may not cover tetanus incubation period, all cases.
Ma'am, आवाज break.
Because incubation period of tetanus is 6 to 10 days or sometimes 1 day or several months. If incubation period is month, it will not cover the protection by ATS. Then it has other disadvantages also, like it causes sensitivity reaction in many people. Some people shows allergic reactions from rash to anaphylactic shock. Another drawback of ATS is that it stimulates the formation of antibodies. Means already we are inserting antibodies, and against that antibody can form in our body. So the second dose or subsequent doses of ATS becomes questionable. Active and passive immunization. Simultaneous active and passive immunization is widely carried out in non-immune person. The patient is given 1500 units of ATS or 250 units of human IG in one arm and 0.5 ml of absorbed tetanus toxoids into the other arm or gluteal region. This should be followed by 6 weeks later by another dose of 0.5 ml of tetanus toxoids and third dose 1 year later. Means we have to give 3 doses. First, the passive immunization by ATS or human IG plus 0.5 ml of tetanus toxoids, and second dose after 6 weeks and third dose after 1 year. The purpose of antitoxin is immediate temporary protection and purpose of toxoid is for long-lasting protection. So passive immunization gives temporary protection, active immunization gives long-lasting protection. Then antibiotics. A single intramuscular injection of 1.2 mega units of long-acting penicillin will provide a sustained concentration of drug for 3 to 4 weeks, which is sufficient to kill vegetative forms, not of spores. Only vegetative forms are killed by antibiotics. So penicillin has no effect on tetanus spores, and these tetanus spores are responsible for infection. So before forming spores, if we give antibiotics, we can kill the vegetative forms of tetanus. For patients who are sensitive to penicillin, a 7-day course of erythromycin istolate 500 mg 6 hourly by mouth will kill vegetative forms of Clostridium tetani, but not spores. So antibiotics are only useful for vegetative forms, not sporadic forms. So antibiotics should be given as soon as possible after an injury before a lethal dose of toxin is produced in the wound. Lethal dose is 0.1 mg, which may be as soon as 6 hours after injury. So within 6 hours, we should start with antibiotics. In prevention of neonatal tetanus. Neonatal tetanus is well controlled in some industrialized countries through clean delivery practices alone. So over the last decades, most programs in developing countries have concentrated on training the traditional birth attendants, providing home delivery kits, educating pregnant women about the 3 cleans. 3 cleans in the first, clean hands, second, clean delivery surfaces, and third is clean cord care. Clean cord care includes clean blade for cutting the cord, clean tie for cord, and no application on cord stump. So 3 cleans should be teached. First is clean hands, clean delivery surface, and clean cord care. It will reduce neonatal tetanus. So tetanus toxoids will protect both mother and child. In unimmunized pregnant woman, 2 doses of tetanus toxoid should be given. So in pregnancy, in ANC profile, we give the 2 doses of TT. When कधी देतो आपण प्रेग्नन्सी मध्ये टीटीचा डोस कधी देतात? So it is given between 16 to 36 weeks of pregnancy, allowing an interval of 1 to 2 months between 2 doses. In previously immunized pregnant women, a booster dose is considered sufficient. So the infants born to mothers who have not previously received 2 doses of tetanus toxoids are exposed to the risk of neonatal tetanus. So in pregnancy, 2 doses of TT are given. They can be protected by injection of antitoxins if it is administered within 6 hours. So tetanus is a vaccine preventable disease. Do vaccinate without fail. So we can prevent the tetanus.